every generation has their own unique issues, and they think that makes them special, and they're like, oh no, what am I going to do? But you're 25 years old and you're not getting drafted to Vietnam. So fucking pull up your bootstraps and stop bitching. It could be worse. Right? And oh, I can't get a job because AI. Then go fucking learn AI. Right? Oh, I can't get a woman. What have you been doing to try and get a woman? You just swiping right? Go talk to a female.
Yeah.
Go ask your friends. Hey, do you know anybody that's single? Go ask your lady friends. Do you know anybody that's single? Start conversations with people on the street. Novel idea, because that is how it got done back in the day before there was dating apps. And it's just like every generation has their issues, and you can either use that as the reason you're not succeeding, or you can succeed in spite of it and say, you know what? I have all these opportunities over here, right? Again, opportunity, obstacles, all a matter of perspective. And so, I mean, again, like, dude, people bitching about, oh, you know, oh, the women are, you said this, like women, they'll go with the most alpha or superior male with the most resources, and that'll be in the biggest city. It's like, go move to the biggest city then.
Yeah.
Like if you live in farm fuck Iowa and you can't find a woman, move somewhere where there's women.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what people want. It's like, or like, go where the ladies are.
Yeah.
Where do the ladies hang out? Go integrate. Go find them. It's a numbers game. It's the same with the business, with marketing and sales. It's just a conversion game.
Yeah.
There's so many women out there. You're just not talking to enough. It's that simple.
Yeah, and you know, all of these things I think come back to that last part of the quote that you said, which is that weak men create hard times.
Yeah.
And so that just brings me back to the whole idea of mental resilience too, which I
100%.
wanted to hear your thoughts. Like,
And I think that's the thing this generation has going against its most, is that they don't have the right mindset. And I think that'll change over the next 10 years. I think we went through a 10-year period here from like 2012, 2010 till current with like the woke movement. I think that did a lot of damage to like the male psyche, or just the general psyche in general, of like exceptionalism. It became frowned upon to seek exceptionalism. And that's the bedrock of being an American, is that we're the best. It's a land of opportunity, ambition, and desire. If you have a dream, you can make it happen. That's the bedrock of what we do. And so we reward people and we hold that frontiersman attitude and say, listen, you want to be exceptional? Go be exceptional. We support that. And for the last 10, 15 years, it's been poo-pooed. It's been frowned on to say, I want to be exceptional. We pull down the people who are succeeding and say like, oh no, everybody's fair and equal, UBI. And it's like, that's so against the American ethos, the fabric of our culture. I can't support it. I refuse.
beautiful.
I mean, Timothy Chalamet. I mean, it's the fact that he said something in that, what it was, Oscar speech or Academy. I don't even care. But he said something about, like, hey, I know it's not the cool thing to say. I know it's not, it's crass to say this, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm here in pursuit of greatness, and I hold the greats in high esteem, and I want to be amongst them. That is like such a foreign concept to society at large. And I've talked about this for years, is that it's more societally acceptable to be your own biggest critic than it is to be your own biggest cheerleader. And if you seek greatness, people look at that and they go, that's weird. You shouldn't, that's a bad thing. And so we play this overly humble game where it's like, oh, I'm just trying to, express myself and this, that, and the other thing. I don't really care about the accolades. And when somebody comes along and they're like, no, just, I want to be the best. People go, oh, that's crazy. And he couldn't have given that speech 5 years ago. No. But he can give that speech right now, because so many people have, like, they felt it. They just didn't have the words or the support of the societal movement to express it. And so now the times are shifting, and you can look at that in the political climate and saying, okay, what's shifted there with people's mindset? But I think just generally people are tired of being treated as a group, and they're like, I'm an individual. I have components of my identity that fit within these groups, but I am an individual, and I want to be valued as the individual. And individuals can be both great and they can be horrible. And if I'm going to put the time and energy into being great, I want to be unabashedly great. I don't want to have to apologize for that. And I also don't want to be penalized for it once I do it. Because that's the thing, is like the people who go on to be great, so easy to tear them down. But it's like, you have no fucking idea what they sacrificed.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, You're jealous of their prize, but you didn't see the price. It's like, yeah. So I get on a rant here.
I like that a lot because I'm in the same frame. But what do you think about the advice when someone just says be yourself? What do you think of that piece of advice?
There's nothing wrong with the advice of be yourself. That's all about authenticity and understanding and self-awareness. Like, who are you, your skills, your strengths, strengths and weaknesses, right? The problem is not, hey, be yourself. The problem is telling people you're okay the way you are.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one thing to be yourself, but also to recognize you are not everything you could be. And we've done a lot of damage, I think, to the collective psyche over the last decade, telling people you're great just the way you are. Body acceptance, right? Oh, you're fat. That's okay. Fat is beautiful. Oh, you're lazy. That's okay, right? Like we're accepting of these inadequacies. And the problem with that is then people sit around, like I as a young man will sit around and say, okay, you tell me I'm fine the way I am. I don't need to change. And yet my life sucks. Yeah. And yet I feel unhappy. And so if I'm fine and everything is great the way it is, and I should accept that, then nothing's going to change. And it fills you with this existential dread. But when you tell people, hey, be yourself, accept that, look your demons in the eye, and then go fight those demons and make them better. Because like, you're not fine the way you are. You're not everything you could be. And it's like the bedrock of the platform, the content that I put out, which is that like you have this greatness inside of you, and if you're not moving towards it, then you feel it. And you feel like this discontent, this existential angst. And I did for so long because I accepted, oh, I'm fine the way I am. Oh, you have ADHD. You can't focus. You can't do this. That's just the way he is, but he's fine just the way he is. Fuck that. Like deep down, I knew I wasn't living up to my potential. And it's not about living up to the potential. It's about progressing towards it. And so as long as you have progress, you don't have to be that greatest version of yourself. You can accept who you are, be yourself, know that you're not everything you could be. But as long as you're following an upward trend and you're moving up the mountain, doesn't matter if you ever get to the top. That's what matters, is the motion, the progress. And I think we just do people so much disservice by saying, oh, you're fine the way you are. You don't have to change. We should accept everybody just the way they are. Fuck no, I don't want to accept. 80% of people suck. There's 80% of people have massive room for improvement. And the other 20% also have room for improvement, right? And so it's like, why settle in this life for anything less than the best you could be? You only get the one shot at life. Why settle? I don't get it.